Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, Tuesday, November 19. Finn strikes back at Brooke Steffy, torn over Ridge's pitch. The Bold and the Beautiful, B&B. Spoilers for Tuesday, November 19, reveal that Hope Logan, Annika Noel, will hold firm on her belief that Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, should continue his takeover plan. Although this is going to stir up a whole lot of drama, Hope feels like the benefits will be worth it in the end. More doubts may creep in for Carter, but Hope will remind him of everything they stand to gain. Of course, Hope will also point out everything Forrester Creations has to lose without Carter taking charge and putting the company on a better path. Once Hope makes another speech about Carter being the leader Forrester needs, he'll feel more confident about their scheme. Now it's just a matter of duping Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McSinswood, and Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., into signing the LLC paperwork. However, Ridge is starting to think there might be another way to handle all this. Since Ridge is in a relationship with Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, he's definitely caught in the middle of all the escalating Forrester-Logan drama. Ridge would like to shut all that conflict down if possible, so he'll make a pitch to Steffy on Tuesday's episode. It'll leave Steffy torn according to B&B spoilers, but it's tough to believe she'll approve any idea that allows Hope to get her line back. Instead, Ridge might think there's some compromise where Hope can work on another project, maybe even from home if need be. Perhaps Ridge will make a prediction about how keeping the peace with Hope would make things better for Kelly Spencer, Sophia Perez McKinley, and Beth Spencer, Jordan Grace in the end. Steffy might be tempted by whatever proposal Ridge brings to her, but she may ultimately stand her ground on Hope deserving real consequences. Since Steffy is convinced that Hope threw herself at John Finn Finnegan, Tanner Novlin, again, she won't be interested in going easy on her. Over with Finn, he'll strike back at Brooke when she once again gripes about Steffy's unfair actions. Finn still won't be willing to go against Steffy's decision, so he'll shut down Brooke's complaints and send her on her way. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Hope and Carter's scandalous plot will make some serious waves soon, so stay tuned for updates on all the chaotic news to come. Tensions run high in Los Angeles as old alliances fracture and unexpected confrontations arise. The ever-tumultuous lives of the Forrester, Spencer, and Logan families hit new highs of drama this Tuesday. Brooke's latest scheme to protect her family ignites fury in Finn, while Ridge's impassioned plea leaves Steffy conflicted about her future. Finn confronts Brooke. No more Mr. Nice Guy for weeks, Finn has been quietly observing Brooke's manipulations. From her relentless vendetta against Thomas to her efforts to control Ridge's decisions, Finn has remained composed. But after discovering that Brooke secretly tried to push Steffy out of Forrester Creations, claiming it was for the good of the family, Finn reaches his breaking point. The episode begins with Finn storming into Brooke's living room, his normally calm demeanor replaced with righteous indignation. Brooke, startled but quickly defensive, snaps, "You've got some nerve coming into my home like this." Finn's eyes blaze with frustration as he counters, "Your home? Or is it just another battlefield in the war you can't seem to stop waging? I've stood by long enough while you manipulate everyone around you. But coming after Steffy, that's where I draw the line." Brooke, unyielding, rises to meet Finn's fury. "I'm protecting this family, Finn." Steffy's obsession with Thomas blinds her to the damage he's capable of. Someone has to make the tough calls. Finn's voice softens, but his tone carries weight. "Steffy doesn't need you deciding what's best for her. You may think you're protecting your family, but all you're doing is tearing it apart. Maybe it's time someone protected this family from you." As the scene crescendos, Finn leaves Brooke stunned and fuming, her carefully laid plans beginning to unravel. But Finn's stand against Brooke may have unintended consequences that ripple through the Forrester family. Steffy's dilemma, a father's request. Meanwhile, Ridge makes a bold pitch to Steffy at the Forrester mansion. With his marriage to Brooke hanging by a thread, and Thomas once again in the spotlight for his questionable choices, Ridge turns to his daughter for support. Steffy, you're the future of Forrester Creations, Ridge begins, his tone earnest but laced with desperation. Brooke doesn't understand what we've built here. She's too caught up in her vendettas to see the bigger picture. I need you to step up, to take control of the narrative before Brooke destroys everything we've worked for. Steffy, torn between her loyalty to her father and her growing unease with the family's endless conflicts, hesitates. Dad, I've always wanted what's best for Forrester. But siding against Brooke, that's not a decision I can take lightly. She's still part of this family, whether we like it or not. Ridge sighs, placing a hand on her shoulder. I know it's not easy, but you've always been the one with the strength to make the hard decisions. This is about protecting the legacy we've worked so hard to build. Can I count on you? Steffy's inner turmoil is palpable. She remembers all the times Brooke undermined her, the times her voice was silenced in favor of Brooke's. Yet she also knows the cost of letting personal grievances dictate business decisions. As Ridge waits for her answer, Steffy's face reveals a mix of resolve and uncertainty, leaving viewers on edge about where her loyalty truly lies. Liam's warning, torn between two worlds. Over at Spencer Publications, Liam receives word of the escalating tension between Brooke and Ridge, thanks to Hope's candid recounting of recent events. Though Liam has tried to stay neutral in the Logan Forrester drama, he feels compelled to intervene for Steffy's sake. Steffy doesn't need to get dragged into this mess, Liam says to Hope, pacing the office. She's already dealing with enough at Forrester. The last thing she needs is to be stuck between Ridge and Brooke's endless battle. Hope, her voice tinged with frustration, retorts, and what about my mom? She's just trying to protect the people she loves. Ridge refuses to see Thomas for who he really is, and Steffy's too loyal to take a stand. Someone has to speak up. The conversation escalates as Liam accuses Brooke of overstepping, while Hope defends her mother's actions. This isn't just about Brooke and Ridge anymore, Liam insists. It's about what kind of example we're setting for our kids. If we don't find a way to bring some peace to this family, it's only going to get worse. Hope's expression softens as Liam's words sink in, but the question remains. How can peace be achieved when everyone is entrenched in their positions? Thomas lurks in the shadows. Unbeknownst to everyone, Thomas is listening to Ridge and Steffy's conversation from the hallway. His face twists with a mix of satisfaction and bitterness. Ridge's plea to Steffy is exactly what Thomas hoped for, a division within the family that weakens Brooke's influence. Later, Thomas confronts Steffy in her office, his tone smug yet persuasive. You know Dad's right, Steffy. Brooke's poison to this family. If you really want to secure our future, you'll side with him. And with me. Steffy glares at her brother, her patience wearing thin. Don't push your luck, Thomas. Just because Dad thinks you're redeemable doesn't mean I do. If you want my support, prove that you're not the same manipulative person who caused all this chaos in the first place. Thomas's smirk falters, but his resolve remains. You'll see, Steffy. I'm not the enemy here. Brooke is. And when the dust settles, you'll realize I've been fighting for this family all along. Brooke plots her next move. Back at her house, Brooke vents to Hope about Finn's accusations and Ridge's growing distance. I sacrificed everything for this family, Brooke laments. And this is the thanks I get. Finn, Ridge, even Steffy, they all act like I'm the problem. but I won't let them ruin everything I've fought for. Hope tries to reassure her mother, but Brooke's mind is already racing with plans to regain control. If Rich wants to side with Steffy and Thomas, fine, but I'll make sure they regret it. Forrester Creations wouldn't be what it is today without me, and they're about to be reminded of that. Brooke's steely determination sends a clear message. She won't back down, no matter the cost. A shocking cliffhanger. The episode ends with Steffy standing alone in her office, staring at a family portrait. Her mind is a whirlwind of conflicting emotions, her father's plea, Thomas's manipulations, and Finn's unwavering support. Just as she seems to reach a decision, her phone buzzes. The screen lights up with a message from an unknown number. Be careful who you trust. Not everyone has your back. Steffy's eyes widen as she reads the cryptic text, her hand trembling. Who sent the message? And what secrets are about to be revealed? With Finn standing up to Brooke, Rich pushing Steffy to take sides, and Thomas plotting in the background, Tuesday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful sets the stage for explosive confrontations and unexpected alliances. Don't miss a minute of the drama. The Bold and the Beautiful Monday, November 18 recap. Hope cries over press release Ivy rescues Elektra from tight spot. The Bold and the Beautiful B&V. Spoilers recap for Monday, November 18, reveals that Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, worried about setting off a firestorm with a Forrester takeover. But Hope Logan, Annika Noel, made a prediction about it being a renaissance instead. Carter was still concerned about the cost, but he ultimately agreed with Hope that the Forresters weren't making them feel like part of the family anymore. After Carter said Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McKinswood, had lost her perspective, he insisted he couldn't allow that. Carter felt that Hope and the Logans had been undervalued, but Hope suggested the same could be said about Carter. Once Carter said they had to get Steffy and Ridge Forrester's, Thorsten K. signatures on the LLC document, he needed to know he had Hope by his side. Hope assured Carter that she had his back and thanked him for seeing her worth along with Brooke Logan's, Catherine Kelly Lang. At Forrester Creations, Steffy was adamant about putting out a press release about Hope for the future ending in Hope departing the company. Katie Logan, Heather Tom, delivered a vague one, but she clearly wasn't happy about any of this. Eric Forrester, John McCook, tried to pump the brakes since he didn't see the rush, but Steffy wanted to get this done. With that in mind, Steffy had Katie send the press release to Hope so that she wouldn't be blindsided. Katie indeed emailed Hope that upcoming press release, so Hope broke down in tears and insisted it was really over. Carter insisted that wasn't true and decided to move forward with the takeover, so Hope said they should do it today and gave him a passionate kiss. At the Cliff House on Monday's B&B episode, Ridge showed up to seek clarification from John Finn Finnegan, Tanner Nublin, on what really happened with Hope. Ridge asked if Finn was sure that Hope was coming on to him since Brooke thought he was wrong. Finn stood by his belief that Hope made a move on him in lingerie and supported Steffy's decision to deliver consequences. Talk turned to the tricky situation Ridge was in with Brooke, but he felt that their relationship would be fine. Back at Forrester Creations, Ivy Forrester, Ashley Brewer, eavesdropped outside the design office and heard Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, wanting to know what brought Elektra Forrester, Linnea Grace, to Lay. Ivy swooped in and saved Elektra by interrupting, so Will officially met Ivy before taking off. Although Elektra was happy about her new romance with Will, she still worried her past would ruin it. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Will's going to get updates on some stunning news down the road, so don't miss his reaction to all Elektra's stalker drama. The morning at Forrester Creations began like any other, bustling with activity, whispers of looming deadlines, and the faint hum of sewing machines. Yet tension rippled through the air like a storm waiting to break. Hope's world unravels. In her office, Hope Logan sat at her sleek, white desk, her usually composed demeanor shattered. Her hands trembled as she held the printed press release, one she hadn't authorized, let alone seen before it hit the media. The bold headline read, "Hope for the future faces grim reality." Forrester eyes shift in strategy. Tears pricked at her eyes as she scanned the article, which all but declared her line a sinking ship. The words stung like venom, each sentence undermining her vision, her hard work, and her creative heart. The worst part? It came with an anonymous statement that Forrester Creations was considering strategic redirection, code for cutting her line altogether. Brooke burst through the door, her motherly instincts on high alert. "Hope, sweetheart, what's wrong?" Hope shoved the paper toward her mother, unable to speak through the lump in her throat. Brooke's face darkened as she read. This can't be real. Who did this? Hope wiped at her tears and shook her head. "I don't know, but whoever it was wants to make sure everyone sees me as a failure." "Mom, this is my life's work. How could Dad let this happen?" Brooke flinched at the mention of Ridge. Though their marriage was on rocky terrain, Brooke had always believed he respected Hope's place at Forrester. But Ridge's recent closeness to Thomas made her question everything. "We'll get to the bottom of this," Brooke vowed. "Ridge won't get away with letting this slip by, and if Thomas has anything to do with it—" "It doesn't matter," Hope interrupted, her voice cracking. "The damage is already done." Ivy steps in. Meanwhile, in the showroom, Ivy Forrester found herself in the middle of an entirely different storm. A loud crash drew her attention, and she rushed toward the source, her heels clicking against the marble floor. There, amidst a toppled wreck of gowns and scattered sketches, stood Electra Taylor, the fiery young designer hired to bring edge to Forrester's couture collection. But in this moment, she looked more frazzled than fierce. "Ivy!" Electra exclaimed, tugging at her sleeve, which had gotten caught in a sharp-edged mannequin stand. "A little help, please." Ivy suppressed a laugh, kneeling to assess the situation. "How on earth did you manage this, Electra?" Electra huffed, her electric blue hair falling into her face. "I was trying to adjust the display, and well, let's just say the mannequin didn't appreciate my creative vision." With a few deft movements, Ivy freed Electra's sleeve, but not before noticing the young designer's face pale with worry. "All right, spill. What's really going on?" Electra hesitated before admitting, "I think I'm in over my head. These designs, they're not Forrester enough. Eric gave me a chance, but what if I'm just proving all the doubters right?" Ivy placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Listen to me. You were hired because you bring something no one else does. Boldness, innovation. Don't second-guess yourself. If you need help refining your ideas, I'm here. We're all here." Electra nodded, a small smile breaking through her worry. "Thanks, Ivy. I needed that." Confrontations in the office. Back in the executive suite, tensions boiled over as Ridge arrived, looking uncharacteristically frazzled. He barely had time to set down his briefcase before Brooke stormed in, with Hope trailing behind. "What's this about a press release undermining Hope's line?" Brooke demanded, waving the offending paper in Ridge's face. Ridge's eyes narrowed as he scanned the headline. "I didn't approve this." "Then who did?" Hope asked, her voice trembling. "Because it's out there now, and it's making me look like I don't belong here." Ridge sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I'll find out. But you know how the press works. They twist everything." "Twist?" Brooke shot back. "This isn't twisting, Ridge. This is sabotage. And I wouldn't put it past Thomas to be behind this." Ridge bristled at the accusation. Thomas isn't your scapegoat for everything that goes wrong, Brooke. If you have a problem with how the company's run, take it up with me. Fine, Brooke snapped. Then as co-CEO, you owe Hope an apology and a solution. Hope, feeling caught in the crossfire, finally spoke up. I don't care who's to blame. I just want to save my line. Ridge softened, guilt flickering in his eyes. And we will. I'll call an emergency meeting with the PR team. We'll issue a retraction. But the damage wasn't so easily undone. As Ridge left to handle the fallout, Brooke turned to Hope, her heart aching for her daughter. Don't let them win, Hope. You've worked too hard for this. Electra's redemption. Later that day, Ivy and Electra presented their revamped coacher designs to Eric and Steffy. The tension in the room was palpable, but Electra stood tall, her confidence bolstered by Ivy's earlier pep talk. This collection, Electra began, isn't just about fabric or stitching. It's about daring to be different while staying true to the Forrester name. As the presentation unfolded, it became clear that Electra's designs, while unconventional, held a raw energy that captivated the room. When the final model walked the makeshift runway, Eric broke into a wide smile. You've outdone yourself, Electra. This is exactly the kind of spark we need right now. Relief washed over Electra, and she shot Ivy a grateful glance. The cliffhanger. As the day wound down, Hope returned to her office, still reeling from the morning's events. She stared out the window, wondering if she had the strength to keep fighting for her dream. Her phone buzzed with a new email. Opening it, her blood ran cold. It was an anonymous tip, claiming to have proof of who leaked the press release, and it wasn't someone she expected. Meet me at the loading dock tonight, the email read. Come alone. Hope hesitated, her instincts screaming caution. But if there was even a chance to uncover the truth, she couldn't let it slip away. As the clock struck 9, Hope slipped out of Forrester Creations, her heart pounding. In the shadows of the loading dock, a figure stepped forward. You, Hope gasped. The screen faded to black, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats. Monday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful was a roller coaster of emotions, from Hope's tears to Ivy's quiet heroics. As the week unfolds, secrets will surface, alliances will shift, and the battle for Forrester's future will reach a fever pitch. Stay tuned.